Guys, this is going to be a huge update. I believe that crypto is going to do this extreme, massive rocket. And I'm going to tell you why I believe this. So this is crazy. So much good stuff for you here that is coming up. Crypto has been bouncing around a lot sideways for a while there. And I appreciate everyone's patience with all this new information I've been giving you. But there's some crazy stuff that's happened recently that's very, very coincidental. But it's actually, I believe, planned out. So let me give you a summary of this. And if you're watching the replay of this, feel free to comment below, anything like that as well, okay? All right, so you saw that the SEC went after Coinbase and also Binance. There was even a move to try to freeze Binance's assets, and a judge overturned that. So kind of interesting. But the big institutional money is where it's really happening at. Fidelity applied to launch a Bitcoin ETF, which is massive. Well, they're proposing to do that. But as you guys know, I've told you before, Fidelity's been mining Bitcoin since 2014. BlackRock has officially filed to start an ETF. But what's crazy is BlackRock, Fidelity, and Citadel have both, all of them have collaborated together to launch an exchange, which is kind of crazy. Now, these companies have long-standing relationships with the government and the SEC, which is, I think, pretty important. You're going to see, and this is my prediction, I think I've spoken about this before, is you're going to see Coinbase and a lot of these smaller crypto exchanges simply just blow up. And the reason being is all their assets are in crypto. Now, to give you some crazy math here, I've got it written down. BlackRock has over $9 trillion in assets under administration, which is a lot, and Fidelity over $10 trillion. All of crypto as a whole is only like $1.2 trillion, which is smaller than Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. Those companies are massively bigger than all of crypto. So pretty cool opportunity there. This to me feels like the 1990s when everybody said that the internet was a fad. You know, I know a lot of you guys and girls are fans of blockchain and crypto, and a lot of people are laughing at you saying it's a scam, it's a fad, it's used for crime. You know what's used for crime? The US dollar. That's what's used for crime. If you go to like El Chapo's house, you know, in his basement, what does the guy got? US dollars. So, kind of funny. Now, the internet, in the very beginning in the 1990s, when I first started my businesses, it was like plagued with, all kinds of fear of fraud and all those kind of things. I remember helping a professional NBA player, one here in Utah named Karl Malone, log onto his laptop onto America Online, and we were putting his credit card in there for the first time, and he's like, man, is this safe? He's like really worried about it. That's the same apprehension you're getting now with blockchain and crypto. But I think if you look at it a few years from now, even like a decade from now, everyone's going to be like, oh, I should have embraced that technology. I would have changed my whole life if I had just invested a little bit into blockchain, But here's the thing, not everything is going to moon. Not everything is going to go up like crazy. Just like the internet, if you do your research, 90% plus of companies that were .coms blew up, right? Completely just went away. But can you imagine if you had been engaged with like Amazon in the early days, Google in the early days, even in the kind of later internet days of like Facebook, right? And things like that. Just incredible what they've done there with the internet. And it's become normal now. It's normal to do commerce on the internet, right? I mean, you guys have no problem ordering stuff from Amazon, right? It's easy. That's the next evolution of blockchain. That's what blockchain is going to do for us. So I wouldn't ape all in, and ape means just like dump all your money into crypto. Obviously, you got to research what you're going to deploy in. I can't give you coin recommendations. A lot of people ask, what token should I buy? What project should I buy? I can talk about certain projects. Obviously, the biggest project right now And one of the oldest is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has done fairly well. You can look at it today and go, wow. Again, and a lot of people have been asking, well, Dan, why is it rising so quickly? Again, institutional deployment. If all of crypto is $1.2 trillion now, Bridger, my partner in the Ugly Unicorn Crypto Hedge Fund, he's my partner, we predict that within a short amount of time after mass adoption, you'll see, probably in the next 5 years or so, you'll see crypto exceed $10 trillion. And maybe even faster than we think. And, you know, when the tides rise, all ships rise. So here's a few things you can do. Now, if you're an accredited investor, just direct message me. We have a few spaces left in the Ugly Unicorn Hedge Fund. You also get to network with a lot of super high level entrepreneurs who are in our fund. They're all accredited. They're all AML checked. They're all KYC. That means know your customer, anti-money laundering. We got to go through all these things to be in compliance with the government and all the rules, of course. But that's open to accredited investors. Now, if you're not an accredited investor and you're a home gamer, I'd recommend dollar cost averaging. And what does that mean? Dollar cost averaging means treating investing in anything every month like a bill. So if you have a payment for, you know, Amazon Prime or something, or your Netflix or anything like that, you want to set up a payment to invest every single month. Okay. So whether it's $100, $50, $1,000, $1 million, whatever you got, I mean, it doesn't have to be a huge amount. Pick the crypto that you'd like to buy, pick the stocks that you'd like to buy, and every month have an auto withdrawal out of your checking account and invest. I don't want to go too long in this video, but you've seen my previous videos over the last few years talking about NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, AMD, and some of these companies that I told you they were going to be part of the infrastructure of AI. And I'm not telling you to buy those stocks, but Google those and see what they did and see how they're doing. And again, and that's the cake. That's the ingredients to the cake of AI infrastructure. And that's unstoppable. Now, AI, I believe, will be integrated with blockchain. You're going to see some amazing stuff, but that's a video for another day. One last warning for you. If you have money on Coinbase, crypto.com, and in these places, I wouldn't keep a large amount of money there. If they go belly up, you could risk your funds and lose them, you know. I don't want that to happen to you. So I recommend using a hard wallet. I use a Ledger Nano X. Now, don't turn on their seed key recovery service. I keep telling you this because then they would have access to your keys. Just use it raw how it is. You want to understand token approvals and revocations if you're going to use a hard wallet. What does that mean? When you engage with a project on the internet, like a DeFi project or anything like that, you approve the contract, right? And that's why there's all these phishing sites that try to get you to do an approval. And the problem with these approvals is they can not only steal your tokens, but they can leave an open security breach, so they have access to your tokens until you close that, right? So what I like to do is set up multiple wallets. I use some for higher risky projects. I use some for just storage, of course, and those different things. But you really want to understand what you're doing before you dive into that, because I have seen people move their money off Coinbase, move it over incorrectly to their Ledger wallet or hard wallet, send it to the wrong chain, something like that, and lose all their money. So I always do test sends and receives. And what that means is, let's say you have $1 million in Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever you got. When you're sending it from one wallet to another, send out a test amount, a small amount, and make sure it gets there. Then you do what's called whitelisting. You whitelist that address, meaning you've tested that address and you can say, hey, verified wallet one or whatever you want to call it. And then whenever you send to that wallet, you know you've already tested it and it's not some crazy scam. Another crazy scam that's going on is the ability for hackers, if they've hacked your computer, to change your addresses before you send it. And you never even know because the numbers are so long and a lot of people don't look. And then boom, you've sent all your money to the hacker's wallet. So just be very careful out there. Be very wary on the internet, especially on Instagram and Twitter and all the stuff of direct messages to people saying they can invest your money and things like that. You can Google and you can see if they're real. You can verify those things. If you Google our hedge fund, Ugly Unicorn, Our hedge fund, if you Google it, is listed on different government sites and things like that. You can check out myself and Bridger. You can talk to us, you can message us and those kind of things. Really do your diligence before you deploy any sort of investment capital. And why do I tell you this? I had someone message me. I spoke at one of my friends' masterminds, and some guy messaged me and said that he lost $400,000 in a scam. 400. He asked me, Dan, can you help me get my money back? And the problem is it was just sent to some crazy scammer address. And the thing with blockchain is, like, once you fire that off, maybe they can catch the criminals, maybe not. Very unlikely if it's out of country, and you're probably not getting your money back. So if you guys are wary of stuff, I get direct messages all week of like, this is like a scam and stuff. And most of the stuff, I'll tell you, if it looks fishy, it looks fishy. I'm not going to usually clear projects for people or do screening on that. That's what we do with our fund. But I can give you basic security protocols. But you got to educate yourself. This is a risky thing. So with crypto, last caveat, I follow the 40-40-10-10 rule, which means 40% of my investments are, fairly boring investments in real estate and things like that, and they cash flow, right? 40% are like in mid-risk stocks and things like that, and businesses and whatnot. And 10% is just doing stupid stuff, enjoying life a little bit, buying Lambos and stuff. And also giving to charities, of course, and those things. And then 10% is moonshot. And that's where your crypto money should be. It's like 10% your moonshot. Moonshot meaning high chance or high probability of loss. But if you do win, you can really, really, really win big in the long term. So, but that's moonshot. But that's something you wouldn't cry about if it went to zero and you lost everything. All right, guys, that's it. If you found this video helpful, there's only a couple things I ask you to do. 1, execute what I've taught you here. 2, share this so we can help more people. I don't charge for this, but how you can pay for this is share. Oh, and finally, I'm going to be throwing a Cars and Coin event for our hedge fund, and we invite everybody in my subscriber group. I usually post the invite link to my subscriber group. I don't got a huge subscriber group here on Instagram, but if you are in that group, I will post out some personal private event invites for you. So if you're interested in going, do that. So share, execute, and subscribe to my Instagram subscriber thing, and we'll keep you informed. All right, guys, you have an awesome day. I appreciate you. Love you.